What is popping, everybody? Bailey Strasser here, and honestly, I, I just, what's shocking here is I can't even believe that this game even happened. And it's insane. I barely see ties as it is, but we witnessed probably one of the craziest games probably in a long time. And not just that, we basically it was what you'd call outstanding. I mean, this is why games shouldn't really end in ties, but at the same time, I'm just super impressed with how things ended up being. I mean, very. So that with that being said, Packers ended up going into Dallas, a game that they kind of started out with under control. A special teams mishap happened for the second week in a row. A block extra point led to a 2-point conversion, and then Dallas just went into their own. A big play, they went right down the field, scored a touchdown, committed a turnover. They stripped Love. They threw a touchdown immediately, and that's how they ended the first half. I'll give credit. The player of the game was Jordan Love. He was only sacked once, which was obviously that fumble. But again, it was just beyond beautiful. It was everything that you can. It was everything that you could have thought in a football game. Back and forth. It was like I was watching people play on Madden, on arcade mode. That's what that game was. It was insane. Jordan Love, 31 of 43, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 carries for 28. Josh Jacobs, 22 for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns, as well as 4 catches for 71 yards as he led the receiving. I mean, Josh Jacobs is an animal. Even 8 carries for 44 yards for Emmanuel Wilson, 3 catches for 37. Romeo Doubs, 6 catches for 58 yards and all 3 of the touchdowns. He had an outstanding day. 5 catches, 58 yards for Golden, 5 for 56 for Kraft, 3 for 22 for Savion Williams, 2 for 19 for Dontavian Wicks, a catch for 9 for Heath, a catch for 6 for Musgrave, and a catch for 1 for Brooks. Obviously, the only turnover on the day was Jordan Love, the big fumble that gave Dallas the lead at halftime that basically changed the outcome of this game. In the contrary, Quay Walker led the way with 11 tackles. Evan Williams had 10. The only sack of the day belonged to Micah Parsons, who basically saved the game from being a loss. Dak Prescott was easily going to run him for a touchdown, and Micah Parsons took him from behind for his. Now he's got 2.5 sacks in the season. I know he's off to a little bit of a slow start, but a lot of it, he's double teamed. He is a dang good player, and it's important to have a guy. Also, a great performance by Brandon McManus. It's great to have a kicker that actually can do kicks. On the Dallas side, Dak Prescott, 31 of 40, 319 yards and 3 touchdowns for someone who was missing their CeeDee Lamb. I guess he really came through, and only a carry for 2 for a touchdown. I mean, he passes. Javonte Williams, 20 carries for 85 yards and a touchdown, as well as 3 catches for 15. Not much from anywhere. What a day for George Pickens. 8 catches for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Tolbert, 4 for 61. Ferguson, 7 for 40 and a touchdown. Kamante Turpin, 3 for 30. Jack Sanborn, former Badger, led the way, 11 tackles. And the only sack on the day was the strip sack by veteran James Houston. Brandon Aubrey only had 1 field goal kick the entire game. But again, this was just offense on both sides. The Packers defense looked dominant all season, and then this game, they completely fell apart. They looked awful. But the reason why was because we were not pressuring Dak Prescott the entire night. He was looking like the way that Dak Prescott looked his rookie year, that's how Dak Prescott looked. I haven't seen him play that good in some time. And that's crazy to say. I know Dallas can be a good team. It's just, the thing is, it's interesting to see how things go. The Packers, I think, needed this bye week more than anything because they had a great hot start, but then some injuries happened. You lost Banks and Tom and Belton. and you're thin at the offensive line. And you could definitely see the thin offensive line was a problem against the Cleveland Browns last week. And then this week, yes, this was a defense that's not that good. So, of course, you knew Love was going to have a day. And he outplayed. He was outstanding. I mean, you give him credit. 4 times he went down the field and scored a go-ahead or a field goal to tie it. Or that's what I mean. Jordan Love came through when he needed to. I wish the clock management wasn't the way it was to end that game. But again, sometimes I'm like, really, I wish we could have actually lost that game, because it's like you either win or lose. But at the same time, it could be interesting going down the line. Now we don't know what's going to happen, because the tie is different than a win or a loss. It could definitely change the outcome of a season. And that's what's very important. I don't know what to really think about it, but, there's not many ties. But, again, we are here, and I think this is the best moment. Hopefully, we have a whole week to rest everybody. And then a home game against the Cincinnati Bengals, who got absolutely dominated tonight and the previous week. So they are really bad as of right now. Their defense is bad. Their offense without Burrow really has nothing. So honestly, I mean, that should be a win at home. It should be. But anything can happen. We just got to stay vigilant, and I'm very excited for what's to come in the future of this team. I know they can be a good team, but at times they can be bad. What I'm asking for out of the Packers faithful is to not give up on Jordan Love. People see one thing and give up on Jordan Love immediately, or demand that Matt LaFleur needs to be fired. We got to stop that nonsense. I know I've been a critical person of Matt LaFleur. I've said there's been times where I feel like he has costed us games. But at the same time, he has led us to the playoffs 5 of the 6 years he's been our head coach. We can't say that he has done nothing bad. He has done great for us. And Jordan Love is doing the best that he can. Is he a perfect quarterback? No. But he is the best that he can do. He was the reason why this game was a tie, not a loss. He came through when we needed it. That's what we need out of Jordan Love. If we see that Jordan Love the rest of the season, boy, we could be very good. Now, that's the thing. We need a better performance out of the defense, and I hope that was just a fluke game and that was just a bad performance and a plan because they did a good job containing Parsons. However, he still managed to get 10 pressures despite, that guy is something else. But again, a lot can happen. It's just the beginning of the season, and we already have a bye week. So this is a perfect time to get everybody together. The people who got injured in today's game and last week's game hopefully will be back, and they get a break. This is exactly what you need. 2-1-1 is not the worst, but again, we could have been undefeated if it wasn't for our special teams, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that one. But what can you do? Long season, and right now Detroit is 3-1. They are currently in first place in the division. We are in second place with 2-1-1, and the Bears and the Vikings are 2-2. With that being said, obviously, I would make a video doing an analysis on talking about the good old bye week, but I actually will be out of town this weekend to celebrate the 100th homecoming of my alma mater. So, I will not make a video, and it happens to be on bye week, so I guess that's a good thing that I guess I get to take a break and blah, blah, blah. So, no video on that. Also, when it comes to the Brewers, it's going to be very tight. I probably will not be able to make videos on the games because Game 1 is on the homecoming game and it might be during it, so it will be probably very difficult to try to get a video done, and maybe until the next day. So I will try. That's why and the only reason why I made this video now was because I had no voice. I don't know why. I feel better, but that's what's very important. So, bye week, Brewers is my focus right now, and A lot can happen. And the Bucks start soon already. I could start talking about the Bucks already. I mean, we already get to start preseason games in next week. But how about that? So if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment your thoughts, and as always, we will see you next time. Go Pack Go!